Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're jumping back to some more Project Architect. So, I hope you guys are ready. So, you guys want power, right? You guys are looking for some power. Of course, I want some power as well. That's why I'm a cockroach. It's one of the most powerful creatures on Earth, right? Yeah. Is that what it does when it shifts? Oh boy. But anyways, today we're going to be getting into big reactors. That is what I want to work on. And of course, well, I can't be a cockroach for that, right? We need to actually get back into our human form. And we're going to work on bigger reactors. So I want to add some lights in here. I actually want to do this with you guys and show you how I've been kind of managing and setting up these rooms, because I've done a whole lot of not showing anything. And I'm super sorry for that. I don't know why. I've just kind of gotten into the groove for some reason of just like, I don't know, showing the end. I think it was a lot to do with the Create Above and Beyond mod pack, just how I was doing that. But anyways, let's take a look at lamps, because lamps is what I've been using a lot of. I really love these inverted lamps. And I know some people have recommended using anti-blocks, but the problem with anti-blocks is they don't emit light, which these do. There's the whole reason I basically have this mod in here. So I'm going to go ahead and add some white lights because I think they look really, really nice up in the sky here. So I just place a couple down so I can actually see. And then I also want to use my building gadgets and exchanging gadgets for this. So I've been using plate for a lot of this, and I think this looks really good inside this building. So I'm going to plop this down. Let's use our exchanging gadget to exchange the horizontal. And I'm just going to pop in here and I'm going to change these for now. And then I also want this to be changed. And then I also want the ceiling to have a little bit of something nice in here, because this is where we're going to put a bigger reactor, because we're going to need more power today, because I want to basically clear out a large portion of this area that we found last episode, that giant lush cave that we found. I want to be able to clear it out, and to use a quarry is going to require a bit more power than we currently have. Also, to expand, we're going to need more power than this. This power will get us by, but we haven't even upgraded it, honestly. But even if we did upgrade this to the max, it would still only get us so far. A bigger reactor is going to get us into the several thousands of RF. And that's kind of what I want to shoot for. So, the exchanging gadgets, by the way, don't work with these lights, because these, well, they work with placing, but they don't work with exchanging. So you can use this to, for example, place a light. But if I go to show you here, like, let's see, let's put a light, I don't know, right in the middle. So let's place there. So a light will work here, but if I want to, for example, exchange it with this plate block, I can't, because it is considered empty. So be careful where you place these. Of course, this breaks it really fast, but a normal tool actually takes a little bit of time to break these. So how do I want to line this up? I think I want to use these plating blocks. Kind of, you guys are going to be stuck inside my head today. Oh boy. Hope you guys are ready for this. But I want to line this up, I think, with this outer wall here. Just like that. And so this is away from the middle section. So let's go ahead and let's line it up like this. Yeah, and the same goes for this. And that'll be perfect. So that's how I'm kind of lining this up. And it kind of looks like straps sort of in here, sort of holding this area in. And then these are kind of poking out, which help add a little bit of atmosphere. So I want to add lights into these corner pieces. Probably still not going to be enough light to fully get this area prevented from mob spawning, but I actually have something that's underneath here that is kind of preventing mobs from spawning anyway. So let's go ahead and place these in, and then I need to remove this one. Awesome. So I mean, this is a nice little area. I just got to figure out what to do for the floor, and this is probably going to work great for the big reactors. Oh boy, and that's going to be fun to build. So bigger reactors in this mod pack doesn't really use like fluids for coolants. So I'm going to explain all that here in a minute and how the coolants and stuff sort of work. But this is looking real good. I'm going to come up with a floor plan though. Well, I think I've already figured out what I wanted to use. I'm pretty sure these bricks right here, which are the same ones that I've been sort of using, which give it a really nice flat underground here with the chisel mod. All right, let's go ahead and grab one of these. Get it all placed in. Surface, just expand. And then I'm going to add some highlights into this. Yeah, and this makes it look really nice. Nice and consistent. And that's really, I really like the way these floors turn out when they're like this. So to extend out, I definitely want to highlight some stuff here. And I think I'm going to use the gray concrete for that. And I'll just go again with the exchanger. I have to say, the exchanging gadget, I can't live without this thing. The exchanging gadget is just, it's too nice. Absolutely too nice. So I'm going to highlight the walls. I'm going to make this actually protrude out of the wall a little bit. A lot of this is honestly going to be kind of covered up anyways. So there we go. Looks kind of interesting. And then just to add the plating, and we should be good. So exchanger. I think I'll go out 2 blocks. And there we go. We have a pretty decent sort of floor pattern where everything's coming out. But a reactor is going to go in here, and it's going to be quite large. I think I'm going to make this thing fit this entire room. And then we're going to have to incorporate a couple of things like refined storage and stuff into this. So let's get all of the things made for the bigger reactors. So I think I have just about everything ready to go for the reactor. The main part is the reactor casing, and I need to go ahead and just build out this frame. And like I said, this thing is going to take up this whole area. And then the floor is going to be accounted for. I'm going to have this setting up off the floor. I don't want to have it down in the floor. And now the height is honestly going to be up to the ceiling. So that's where I was saying I might need to remove or replace where the lights are at. I might even put the lights down in the floor here. Yeah, that could actually work. I'm going to put the lights down in the corners because there's nothing else is going to be down here. So might as well throw in some lamps. And yeah, that should be great. It'd be kind of cool if we had like color changing lamps, but I don't think we're ever going to need, like I was saying, color changing lamps. So let me kind of let my mind loose here. Because in normal circumstances, you wouldn't have an infinite supply of your resource. So whenever this goes down, you would need to be able to sort of know when it goes down or be able to moderate the power and fuel ratio and all that interesting stuff. But we're going to have the ability to dump fuel into this. So we're really not going to need to worry about that too much, but it'd be kind of cool to have like an emergency system. So this is going to extend all the way up to the ceiling, just like so. I don't think I need any sort of like fuel tap or nothing's going to need to be on the roof other than these things. Other than the actual reactor control rods. And I'm going to put them in a particular pattern. There is an efficient way to put these. So just keep that in mind. There is an efficient way. If you want to learn more about this mod, literally all you have to do is go to biggerseries.net, and that is the wiki for this mod. And you'll be able to find out more information there. But for example, like these reactor control rods, which are going to dip in, I usually, like, everybody's got their own opinion. Some people are like, they should go like this, right? Everybody has their own opinion on what's better. Like, oh, it should go like this. They should connect. Some people are like, oh, they should go like this, right? And then some are like, oh, they shouldn't go that way at all. They should be like this. They should be crossed. I don't actually know, like, if it makes a huge difference in a size reactor like this. But I believe this allows for more coolant to go next to the actual blocks, which helps keep it cool, which usually helps reduce the fuel, not so much power. And in our case, we don't have to worry about this thing exploding. I'm going to go ahead and leave mine in this pattern, sort of an X pattern. And I don't know, you guys can let me know how wrong I am about this reactor. It always brings in controversy whenever I build a reactor. It's so crazy. The comment section is just always flooded. But then we also need our rods. which are going to be built like this. And this is what's going to contain our actual fuel. And of course, the more of these you have, like the more rods you have and the more actual control rods you have, of course, the more power this is going to make overall. And the bigger this thing is, the more you're going to make. So that's of course, that's just how this thing works. So the only other thing I need or I can make is reactor glass. I think this reactor glass is going to look a lot better than me just using regular stuff. So that way I can see on the inside. But the inside is going to be kind of covered with a certain material. So if I take a look at the controller, I can see some of the materials, some of the moderators that I can actually use. And so you have two different types of moderators. You have active, and then I believe this is the passive type. Yeah, this is the passive. And then you have coolants, which are the active. At the moment, we're not going to need to worry about actives. That would include water, liquid obsidian, apparently, whatever's in this pack as of right now, which isn't anything I need to worry about. But these I do. And I was looking through there, and I think the best one that we have at the moment is going to be Enderium. Enderium is definitely the best. It is quite expensive on EMC, but as far as things go, it's almost as good as Ludicrite. Ludicrite doesn't have an EMC value. It is based on going through this process here, which is getting the plutonium, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. That's why I kind of want to get this started and burn through this stuff. So all I need now is to hook in. I just need the control terminal, reactor terminal. This is going to be like the interface. Redstone port I'm going to put in. And then we also need a power tap, which is how we're going to actually get the power out of this thing. Later on, I might build a bigger one of these, but we also have the other reactor mod. We have Pala in here, which has some really cool reactors that we'll get into eventually. All right, so let's go ahead and grab Enderium. And I need to make blocks of this. Look at that. 5K blocks. Oh boy. Oh, it sounds really weird. I didn't know it had a block placing sound. Oh, weird. It sounds like you're dropping a marble on the floor on like a really hard surface and it like bounces. That's kind of cool. All right. So I'm going to raise up the surface. I guess Enderium blocks don't work for that. So I'm going to have to do this by hand. Or actually, maybe a wand. Wand might be better for this. Oh no, you can't use a wand with this block either. Weird. Enderium, you're a weird block. But it is going to be hopefully our best coolant in here. By the way, do not forget to cap off this roof. That would be a mistake. You'd have to tear all this back down. Yeah, don't forget to put the roof on. So I have my power tap in the back. I put my redstone port up top. And I did go ahead and break these two blocks just so we can see in. It's not going to really cause that much of an issue to have that there. But I just want to be able to show and be able to see that. Once we close this in, we should get a completed reactor. And as you can see, this thing is ready to be turned on. However, we are missing still two things. So, or really one thing, but that equals two. So it is a reactor access port. So this is a single block, but it does have two purposes. And so on one side, I like to place the reactor port, and on the other side, I'll place the other one. Now, the way these function is one can be an input or an output. This one I'm going to have as an output, and this side is going to be my input, as you can see. And yeah, all we got to do is input some fuel in here, which we're going to use. We're going to do using these. Let's see. I wonder if I can do, yeah, I can just search additions. So we have the EMC links. So these probably, let's see, can I make this? I can make this. That's 2 million a piece. I would rather this go. And so we'll have this, and then honestly, we can use one of these as our no, we can't use this in output. We're actually gonna need to send the product that this makes back into our refined storage system in some way. And I think the best way is an ender chest. Not a normal ender chest. No. a special ender chest. Let's see, we have this right here. So a regular white ender chest, I think is going to be the best way to do this. So we're going to need 2 of those. And then a pipe. I think this will send directly to a chest, but I am going to use an item pipe to route that into this chest. Because I do want to keep this material, by the way. So we'll have our ender chest, and this is going to be converting the fuel into a byproduct. And that byproduct is going to be cyanide, I believe. And then it needs to be processed. Actually, we probably need to get the processor set up. Yeah, the cyanide reprocessor. Okay, so this will kind of work. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this cyanide reprocessor works. I don't know if this will eject directly out automatically. Like it does say manually eject always. I don't know if it'll push directly into a chest, but if I put this down, hopefully the item pipe will work. Now the thing it's going to need is a tank. Let's see. It is going to need a tank of water, and it's going to need some power. Luckily, we should be able to get a point on this. Since this will be hooked to our main network, we'll be able to get a point, hook the power up to this, make sure it's on our main power grid. It's now got power. And then we're going to need a pipe. Good old fluid pipe. I'm going to hook the fluid pipe up to this. And that should get this up and running. The fluid pipe, let's hook our wrench up. There we go. And this should be filling up with water because this needs to be reprocessed. And then over here, I'm going to hook up an ender tank or an ender chest. And I should be able to pull out the byproduct from the bottom here. We'll just wrap this around. And I'll just say, hey, let's get the items that this produces after it's done. Hopefully this will work. It's kind of weird when you don't have like any like UI or anything like that showing where sides and stuff should go. So that's a thing. All right. So it was like this and the rest is this. Something like that. There we go. Okay. So this side is basically done. Now we get to use this EMC link, which is really, really cool, to pump items in. So uranium, which used to be your oh my gosh, I can't even say yellowite. There we go. All you have to do is right click on this. And now this is going to every 4 seconds, try to pull out an item if I have the EMC for it. So I should be able to just hook a pipe to this. And then the pipe every 4 seconds will pull out that fuel. And we should start to see the fuel build up. And we're going to see it build up here. That's why I wanted to be able to see the screen, because I think it looks really cool as it starts to build up here. All right. So once this is at 100%, I'm going to turn this on. I don't have any power storage, so that is sort of a thing, but I do want this to constantly run because I want it to generate this material. So back here, we need a plug. I don't know if I had ever made one, but now we have one. We're going to hook the plug to the back and make sure we select our main network, and we're good. Now this does have a default power transfer limit that's on these, but this generator's not going to generate 80,000 plus RF. I think it was 80,000 is default limit, but you can always turn the limit off by disabling it here. Yeah, it's 800,000 RF. That's a lot. Or FE. By the way, if you see FE and RF, they're the same. You're going to see a lot of that. I don't know if it's forge energy versus red power or whatever, redstone energy. That's what it used to be. But anyways, all we got to do is turn this bad boy on, and look at this. So yeah, we're going to see really, really high amounts of heat, but we're going to be burning through a lot of fuel, which is what I want, because I want to eventually have Ludocrite in here. But at this size and with the rods dipped in here as far as they are, you can actually pull the rods out from the top. These actually allow you to control the control rods, which I know I have hidden up here. Let's get to them. So right here, you have the control rod. You can actually name the control rod, and we can start to pull, for example, we can start to dip this in here. And let's say we put it 50% on all of them. So we have this one here, here. And then we should have one here. And then am I missing something? I think I'm missing something here. Oh wait, no, it's an X pattern. I just like broke the whole thing to try and figure this out. All right, let's place these back in. And then we'll have this all fixed. Okay. So yeah, I can set all of these to about 50% pushed in if I really wanted to, and I'll show you what the change is. Don't think I can control all of these together. I could use like computer craft to do this. I did put computer craft in here. So now they're all set to that amount. And if we turn it back on, we'll see the power has decreased, but our fuel usage has definitely decreased. But in my use case, I don't want this to be decreased at all. So I'm not worried about explosions. This thing is not going to explode on me. I'm not worried about it being super hot. Not a big deal. I'm not worried about my fuel consumption to power ratio because we're generating it just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this back in. I'll never need to touch these again. And we should be good to go about our way and use this power to the best of our ability. This is all about. So at the moment, we are generating about 23 or 24,000 RF per tick, which is nice. And we should be generating some waste over time. I'm sure we haven't generated any yet, but you can see the blue bar down here is the amount of waste. As we have 3.8 buckets of waste, which should be dumping here, which has me concerned and wondering, did I ever put that like that? Oh, there we go. So I just forgot to activate my pipe. And there we go. It's exchanging. And this will turn this into plutonium, I believe. And that should be ending up over here. Now we got to get refined storage hooked up. So I need to hook into this. I need a cable to hook into here. Now this is really going to be temporary. But it is just set up back here. Eventually I'm going to have another room, another area that is going to be dedicated to refined storage and automation, which this will end up getting moved into that area. But for right now, I just need an importer on the side of this, and I'll put a stack upgrade and 3 speed upgrades in it. And anything that ends up in this inner chest will immediately get pulled and put right into our refined storage system, going right into our storage disk, which is exactly what I want for this setup. So all of that power set up, but for what reason? What could I possibly use that power for? Well, how about this? So I found that this area right here, actually kind of nice. The fact that this is literally right on this block, this piece of dripstone, is almost the perfect place for me to set up a builder. Now, the only thing I don't have for the builder is my quarry card. So I'll just go ahead and grab the quarry card. I think it should be pretty... Quarry card, right? We just need any kind of... I don't think I ever made any of these items. But yeah, we're about to clear this area out. It's gonna be pretty nice. So I need this set up with the glass. And then I'll have a absolutely free quarry card. And then all we have to do is feed this some power, which my base is chunk loaded. So let's give this some power. It's like that. Make sure it's selected on our network. That should be nice and filled up. The only way to make this thing go faster, by the way, is with RF tools. You do have a machine that you can use that will kind of help speed things up. It's the way to use your dimensional shards. I'm trying to look for the machine. I don't actually see it. Oh, here it is. So yeah, the machine infuser. So the more dimensional shards you have, you can actually infuse your machines and make them faster. So this thing can go pretty quick. But by default, it's fine. Or you can speed it up with a time and bottle, or watch a flowing time, or whatever you want. If you really want to, if you have enough power to do so. So what exactly am I going to do with this? Well, let's just go ahead and open our shape card and let's see. So by default, we can't really see what's going on here. There used to be a thing that would display and show us sort of the shape. The only way to really see the shape now is by putting the card in and just judging it based off of, oh my gosh, this thing down here. Quit. Oh my goodness. The thing gives you some nasty poison too. Oh, come on. I'm explaining here. So yeah, you can hit the support view to be able to see it in real time here. So like this, for example, I hit support view, able to see what current shape is available. And at the default, it's a bottom biome and it's whole. We can do a sphere, and then I recommend bringing this up. We can also change the offset on this to make it sure it's 0. Let's set this to like 10, 10, 10. It's going to be 200 blocks. It's hollow. It's a sphere. I activate that. We can actually get an idea of how big this is going to be. So this is how we're going to be able to visualize instead of inside the card, which is what I used to like doing. So what exactly am I wanting to make inside this area? Well, how about biospheres inside of this? That's sort of like the idea that I have in my head right now, is like making some sort of like futuristic biosphere that clears out the area around it. So we start here and we can go out, go this way, and we make these sort of smallish spheres. I wouldn't say small. It might be like, you know, enough to take up this whole area. Wow, that guy is tough. See, that he almost killed me. Anyways, I got to get this thing cleared up. So as far as size goes, we can go, let's just try 30. 32 is going to give us an even size, but let's just see roughly how big that is. So pretty big here, but I do like the positioning of this, honestly. So we can actually make the top part glass. So we do have bottom and top parts of the dome. So the bottom part of the dome can actually be, or we can clear the whole thing out first, and then we fill the bottom half of the dome with dirt, for example. And then the top half of the dome can be glass. I think this is going to work pretty good. So to be able to pull this off successfully, I have some markers here to make sure that this is butted up right against the blocks that I want, even when I go to change this. So at the moment, I'm going to actually be hollowing this out. So this is set like this. If I go into here, it's set to hollow, but if I go solid, we should be good. I'm going to go ahead and void off these blocks. Set the tags, and I'm even going to put a trash can on top. And this should clear the whole thing, except for our offset is off. So because of all that, it ended up changing our offset for some reason. If I go to hollow, weird, our offset keeps getting changed. Let's remove this. Let's do 0, 0, 0. That should be directed on where we're located. Okay, there we go. 0, 0, 0. It's weird that that offset changed. I don't want that offset changing. And then that's on there. And then all we got to do is put a lever on here. I like to turn this off. And there we go. We might have to run this a couple of times. And by the way, don't worry about this breaking itself, because it actually puts a block around it and it prevents it from actually destroying itself. It like puts a cube around itself. Look at that. Nice and cleared out. Thing is, I'm going to run it one more time to clear out any gravel and such that it may have left behind. And then we have to work on the other part, which is building cards. So with it hollowed out, I have just a little bit more time. I need to set this to bottom dome, and we're going to do this solid, and it's still going to be the same, I believe. So like this is a part of the same dome. So I set it to 31, 31, 31. When it goes into here, it should be 31, 31, 31 solid. Let's display it. And I notice it's a little bit taller than I was hoping it would be. But it is half the dome. Actually, you know what? It's right where I kind of wanted it to be, honestly. So this is going to be half the dome. This is going to be the dirt part of the dome. Everything else is going to be above. If I wanted to fix this, I would just have to offset this dome down, which I think I'm going to do. I think this is definitely going to have to be offset because I'm not liking how high it is. So to change that, we just go offset, and I can go like -5. And I think I like that better. Definitely lower to the ground. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better. And it's just going to fill in all this stuff down here anyways, including the mobs. So whatever you put in the chest above it is what it's going to use, including fluids. It can actually fill areas with fluids, but this should work. And hopefully we have enough dirt. I'm going to fill that in. And look at it go. So it's just going to start filling this in with dirt. And that looks fantastic. So now for the interesting part, which is going to be glass. This is the top dome setting. So as you see, top dome, I have the same thing set. For some reason, you got to keep an eye on this because this changes. I want this to be -5. Top dome. Make sure that saves. Top dome. We're good. See, it set the offset again. I don't know if that's okay. But we're going to put the glass in here anyways. I'm going to trust it. Now, the glass that I want to use is actually clear glass from Tinker's Construct. So I just need, I'm assuming probably an inventory full would probably be enough. This is not filling the whole thing. This is just the hollow section. Make sure again. So yeah, this is weird how it's changing. But make sure it's nice and hollow. And then let's start it. And look at that. That is so cool. And we have the start of one of our biodomes. The start of one. Nothing special, you know. Just need some light in here. And then for me, it's just a matter of going around and adding detail to this dome as much as I can. Now for lighting everything up, I think it's going to be a pretty decent job for the Feral Flare Lantern. These things are pretty powerful. So all you got to do is go down here and I mean, even setting it up inside. Where would I want to set it up inside? I can always remove them, for example, and take them down. But I'm going to place one here, here, and here. This should be plenty. Oh, not that one. Got to be careful, by the way, where you decide to place these because you don't want to really replace them near a refined storage system, or not a refined storage system, a bigger reactor, for example, because these little light sources has a tendency to go into the big reactor and kind of break it. But as you can see, it's going to start placing invisible light sources all around, which is super nice and is great, by the way, for lighting up all these caves. I'm not super fond of the glass, but you know, I think I will definitely be able to make this look good. And this isn't the only one that's going to be down here. We're going to have several of them. Don't know if they're going to be on the same height, but they are going to be the same size. And they're going to be sort of spread out through this area. And I'm going to try my best to link them together in some cool way. But I did just put some trees in here just for the looks, just so you can see that it is big enough. It is quite large. And so we'll figure out something to do with this. I definitely should be able to come up with some idea for what to do with these. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. Of course, guys, if you did, you guys know what to do. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And of course, guys, I do want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And that, of course, is going to be a huge thanks to Cape Sword. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on Discord. Becoming a Discord premium member, absolutely being a boss supporter over there. And of course, guys, if you are interested in becoming a supporter as well, or just joining the Discord, all you got to do is go to discord.gg/ChosenArchitect. And of course, you can find everything there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. Of course, I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.